Hope you're all fierce. Welcome to The Performer's Path, the podcast where we delve into the highs and lows of the performance industry and beyond. If it's using your creative juices for onstage, in auditions, or those in between jobs, we discuss it all with real people in the industry who've been there and got the t-shirt as a gift. By discussing audition rejections and success, we're taking away the fear of the unknown, whilst also giving vital tips for success. So let's tread the boards together in this week's episode. In our second episode, Olivia discusses the development of her performer character, being the performer me and the me at home, and accepting if a situation is right for me with no judgment. When you left college and you were this anxious, timid person, how did you fare with talking to people socially and networking and things like that?
Yeah, oh my gosh. I still struggle with it now, I think. But do you know what? I just had to push myself. And I think it was the real fake it till you make it sort of thing. And I think from being on different jobs and constantly meeting people, I got very good at I was able to separate who I was at home and who I was when I was out on a job. And then as time's gone on, and I've just grown older and more myself, I can now marry the two a little bit better. But there was a real time where I thought, I'm an actor. What am I doing? I don't need to be who I am at home. I need to go out, put a face on and be confident and be that person. And I literally had to be, because otherwise I will literally stand in the corner and not speak. There's no in between. I mean, also I'm in a job where I don't work with the same people. It's very rare that I do. If I do, it's a really nice moment. But I'm constantly meeting people all the time. And as daunting as it was at first, it then got to a point where I've got very comfortable. And now I feel like I can meet anybody and I can have a conversation with them. And yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah. And again, not worrying about if someone likes me or not, or if I'm presenting myself wrong and all of this. Because I think
not comparing yourself.
And I think also when you go to castings and auditions and you get really nervous, the casting director knows you're gonna be nervous. And if you go in and you show that, it's very obvious. So again, I had to really let go. And don't get me wrong, I still get nervous now, of course I do. But being able to let it go and again, have that mindset of I'm an individual. There's nobody else like me. And you're going to see that if you want me for this job, then great. If you don't, then no problem. The next person will want me. And it's just letting go of feeling being a people pleaser and wanting everyone to like you, because you just not everyone is, or you're just not right for something. So yeah, that goes on with when I've been out networking and stuff as well. And also knowing if I'm not feeling someone either, if I'm not getting their vibe too, because that can also be a big thing as well. I think sometimes people will be like, oh, well, it's this person, so you need to be like this with them, blah, blah, blah. I go, I don't like them though. I don't want to work with someone that makes me feel like this. And that's okay as well. But it takes
having the courage to say that though, isn't it? It's terrifying.
Yeah.
So if you were talking to yourself right now, yes, you've got over your fear of networking, of that social anxiety, of all of that anxiety that you had, and the anxiety and your nerves for auditions and things. What advice would you give to people who are feeling that to the point where it feels like it's almost crippling you, like it's stopping you, like there's a dinosaur in the room?
I think a lot of that is really just inner work and reminding yourself why you want to be there and what you're doing there. Because I think you're never going to present yourself right if you just don't know who you are and you don't know what you want. It's a hard one because it's just something that you're going to have to learn over time. But I think for me, I really had to look inwards and stop comparing myself, stop self-sabotaging myself, and just...
What do you mean by self-sabotaging yourself?
There would literally be times where I'd be I'm not going to something because I can't be alone. I don't know anyone. I don't feel good today. It was just all these things, or I didn't have a new dress to wear. Do you know, it's something so silly. And I would literally stop myself from going to places and stop myself from meeting people. And it's just sad. You shouldn't have to live your life like that and just think that you're not good enough. So it's a lot of inner work. And I think, again, what I said earlier about me, I'm discovering everything for it feels like for the first time, which is really nice. And it's now I can look at something and give an actual opinion. I think beforehand, I would always wait to see what everyone else had to say before.
Yes, I remember that for you. I do remember that so well. I remember you being in that studio. It was Studio 4, one of those garden studios.
Yeah.
And I remember doing MT Rep with you, wasn't it? Musical theatre. And you waited for everybody else.
Mm.
You literally waited for everybody else to give an opinion on the number that we were doing.
Yeah, sounds right. I can't even remember, but probably it sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just having your own minds. And I think it's hard because it feels very competitive, this industry, and it feels like you're constantly being judged. And it's so funny because coming out of it, and I think having a solid, good group of people, I think it's really helped me too. I don't feel like that at all anymore. And I have people constantly asking me, oh, is it not really bitchy? Do you not compete with people? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, because I don't need to. And I don't think my friends need to either. And we genuinely support each other. But again, I wouldn't be able to be like that if I wasn't secure in myself. So
Wow.
it's really getting a hold of that first. And then I'm able to present the way I want to.
I can't believe I'm talking to the same person.
Well, me neither.
Insane. It's amazing. It really, really is. So that lack of confidence that you had, that low confidence, what was stopping you from playing that character and being that confident person in the studio, would you say?
I think I just genuinely didn't know how to be, because I think, again, I was trying so hard to be somebody else that I didn't know how to be myself. And I didn't know how to even switch on a character that could possibly be a version of me, because I'm just watching what everyone, and I was just trying to copy what everyone else is doing. I think that was the issue, is I just had no individuality. I didn't understand who I was and who I could be. And I think I always had a dream of who I wanted to be.
What did that look like?
Oh, it kind of looks like me now. Like, yeah, I've still got like bigger dreams and bigger goals for myself. I always have. But it's so funny because, you know, when like you're younger, and I obviously had that with my older sister, and you look at like the big girls and you're like, oh, I want to be like them. They're so cool. And like they know they're having so much fun and they dress like this and blah, blah, blah. And now I feel like I am that girl that I used to look up to. And I look at the things that I get to do every day and the people that I'm around and the things I've got to experience. Like I just never thought that would be an option for me. So it's so fun, like literally living this life that I never thought I would have. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy. And it's not every day I wake up and think that, because I really don't. It's the fewer times I think about it. But when I really look back at everything that I've done and the career that I get to have now and the people I'm surrounded by, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is sick. Like, this is what I've always wanted for myself.
And you've created that.
Yeah.
You've created that. And that should give you that extra confidence in itself, shouldn't it?
Yeah, because there was a time where I was with the wrong sorts of people, and I had well, it was an ex in particular, but he told me, he was like, you just get everything, it just gets handed to you. And I'm like, why would you say that? Because basically someone had recommended me for a job, and I got a text and I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to work for this company. I can't believe like someone's messaged me about it. And he was like, you just get everything. And it really took me back. And then I had to be like, no, actually, the reason I got recommended because I was really good on like this job, and people know me, and people have only got good stuff to say about me. So then when someone asked for a recommendation, also they were looking for Asian girls. How many are there? So they were looking for Asian dancers. And my name got put in the pile, and they reached out to me because I had good recommendations. People wouldn't do that for me if I didn't work hard.
Yeah, if you had a rubbish work ethic and you were nasty and all that kind of stuff, no way would they reach out to you.
Exactly. But it's again, it's really hard when you're surrounded by all the wrong people. And there's a time I believed him, and I believed people that said stuff like that about me. And then I was like, no, actually, no, I work really hard and I'm really good at what I do.
What was the turning point for you then in that thought process? Because I have so many students that go, oh God, I'm so rubbish. Oh dear me. You know, they sound like Eeyore.
Yeah.
And I want them to be Tigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the changing point? What changed for you where you went, no, actually?
I don't know if there was like a specific moment, but I think, again, it was just over time. I think I was just doing quite well. And I think I just had like amazing agents and amazing people, and I was being pushed in the right direction. And every job that I went on, I'd have amazing feedback. I'd have a great time. And it was just, again, it was over time me realizing I'm not doing this just because, like, well, I've had a lot of comments of people just being like, oh, well, she's just pretty. That's the only reason she's got this. And it really threw me because I was going through like just real imposter syndrome for a long time of me just being like, oh, like I'm not getting anything because I'm actually talented, or I'm actually, people want to work with me and whatnot. And it was over time, I was like, no, it took me a while to get there, but I just think like I was doing really well. And I think, you know, people would be like, no, but you're actually like, you're getting there for a reason. And I just had people that actually believed in me. And I just wish that I believed in me first, honestly.
Yeah,
But
but that's hindsight's 2020, isn't it? But
yeah.
that support network is so important, isn't it? Those people that celebrate your successes with you, they make them real then, and that then adds to your self-esteem, doesn't it? I think that as Northerners, though, as well, we are very, very down on ourselves. And
Yeah.
that is that fear of being arrogant. I remember being at college and going, I don't want to come across as arrogant. And that stayed with me my entire life. And people always still have a go at me about me putting myself down. Whereas I'm doing this and coaching people and all that kind of stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm trying to change it. But what's the difference then? I need to know between confidence and arrogance.
I think with confidence, it comes from somewhere grounded, like it really has to be built. Whereas arrogance, for me, I think comes from more insecurity. It's that you have to tell yourself this to even just get through, and it seeps into your mind into a weird way. Whereas I think you can be confident, but still be humble and still be grounded. And again, I think confidence it's built. No one is just born with all the confidence in the world. Like that's why you hear like when you're talking to a child, you're like, yeah, well done, you're doing this, you're doing really great. And you need that growing up, and you have that throughout your whole life as people cheering you on. And so, until you're at a point where you're like, yeah, I can do this. Like I've got all these people telling me. Whereas arrogance, I feel, comes from an insecurity of maybe people have been like pushing you down and you're going, no, I'm better than you. Who do you think you are? Like I'm better. And I think that's maybe what the difference is. To me, when I meet someone arrogant, I think you're insecure. And I think, where does this come from? Because you weren't born like this. You were made to be like this. It's interesting. I've met very arrogant people over the years, and I always just wonder, why are you like this? And the most confident ones, they're just chilling, they're good. And they will build other people up with you. Whereas the arrogant ones will want to push everybody else down to make themselves seem taller. It doesn't need to be like that. Yeah. So
You went
that's,
on a journey then, you know
I
that, right?
did.
You
I think
literally went on a journey. You went from starting to talk about arrogance as if it was confidence, and then went, oh, around the
yeah.
houses and got there. I was like, yes, Janet, she's giving it,
I just know too many of them. It brings it out.
right? Yeah, but it is interesting, isn't it? But what makes people like that? Is it the imposter syndrome? You know, I guess it's a path that you could take. You could go towards arrogance, or you could go towards, no, I'm efficient, or I will make myself efficient, which is what you did. You worked so hard to make yourself be who you are and be efficient at your job. And that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you really have to put the work in and you're not just handed everything, like you realize how much you need to do. And I feel like it never stops and the growth never stops, because it's like you've achieved this goal. Okay, great. What can we do to get even better? What can we do to do even more? That's when like passion drives you a little bit more. And I think again, when your confidence is knocked, you have to build yourself back up again. Again, like knowing people that are quite arrogant, it's because they just get given things and they've never had to work as hard. Or maybe they have in their life. I don't know. Everyone's got a different journey. But maybe
Yes,
they
they
have,
do.
but then they're at a point now where they don't have to work anymore. And I feel like that's,
Or they
again,
just have to work on their ego. How do you deal with people who are like that? Because they are everywhere in every walk of life. And how do you deal?
I do struggle with them. It depends on what it is. If it's something that I feel like isn't going to serve me, you won't hear from me at all. But I don't know. I think when it comes to like work and professional environments, it's tricky to navigate. And I always feel like with those people, I'll never be that close. I won't give too much. And I can have a very professional working relationship with them, and that can be fine and that can be it. Anything outside of that, I don't surround myself with those people. I'm not interested.
Define yourself as that professional and private. I know you've said that one is a character, but what are those boundaries that you would set between a friendship and a professional relationship?
Oh, so something I can maybe like an experience I had was a friend asked me to kind of like produced a shoot for her. And it was all friends involved. I got the makeup artist, I got the photographer, sorted the studio out, and I was on set with her. And there was a time where I felt like everyone was kind of messing around a little bit. And I know this photographer, we've worked together. We are friends, but we've worked together too. And I was like, guys, we need to pick up the pace here. Come on. When you're doing this, you can be doing that. And I start coordinating it. And even at the end of the shoot day, everyone was just kind of lingering. But I know that the photographer needs to pack everything away. The studio needs to be cleaned up. Everyone's got like work more left to do. And you're kind of you're lingering about, things are still messy. And I was like, guys, come on. We've had our fun. We need to pack up. We need to go now. And someone turned and he was like, oh, I don't know what he said to me. He was just like, oh, someone's in a rush to leave and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, it's just that there's still work that needs to be done. Just because you're finished now doesn't mean that the work stops for everyone else. So we need to keep it going. And I remember my friend who I sorted it out for, she was like, I really appreciate you doing that, because I felt at a point where it just got a little bit out of control and you got everyone in line. And I was like, you can still have fun and everything whilst keeping everything going. And I think what I really love about my friendship groups is that whenever we have worked together for whatever it is, we know that the work comes first. And we're all able to put in together and collaborate in a great way that everything gets done and to a high level, because we are all professionals. And anyone that kind of makes me feel like you're not there for the love of it, like we all do this because we love it. And it's like, it's everything to us. And it might not be to you, and that's fine, but that means that you don't need to be there in our environment. And if you are there in our environment, we need to let you know, okay, this is how we conduct our space. And you need to be on board with that or not at all. And we can still have a friendship outside of that. But just whenever I've worked with people and established friendships and a business relationship, every time we come together, the work always gets done. But it's also because that's what we love. And we're having fun. We're bonding on a friendship level because of what we do, because we love it so much. And that's why I think like a lot of my friendships work so well, is because that we can have our laugh and then we can buckle down and get to work. And that's how it should be.
So you're setting expectations as well as boundaries for the work, and that work ethic expectation as well as the standard. That's really good advice. And then just free for all when you're friends.
Yeah, exactly. Because once it's over, we don't need to worry about it. But it's fun that we get to do it all together. That's what I think is actually even something I picked up from school, is that we can all be in a class together. And it is annoying when you're in class and someone's messing about, someone's not taking it seriously. It's always that, I mean, like, come on, like, we're all here, like, yeah. And we can, but that's because we all enjoy, we all want to be there. And then as soon as you leave, then we can do whatever. And it goes back to even being in class. And I think maybe that's something where it comes from.
I'm not paying her to say this, just saying.
No, I was that person that I was like, guys,
you were. I
have to stand here and wait. But I want to be here. If you don't want to be here, go. Like, don't waste all of our time. Honestly. No one's calling you. Bye. Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Honestly, yeah.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And I think that when you go into a class, you should be in that professional mindset. Whereas I think it's kind of hard. Is it a maturity thing, or is it, I want this so bad? I don't know.
I don't know, because I feel like some people just never grow up anyway, but
I'm one.
But I think, again, but we all do it just because we love it. And I think we can all, again, when I said I feel a bit childlike sometimes because I feel like I'm discovering stuff with any time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to learn everything about it. I can still be like that on set and I can still have the best time. But when I'm waiting around for people because people just don't take it seriously, or it's like, oh, we did this, but it's okay, should we just like carry on with it? I'm like, no. It needs to be the best, because what's the point in doing it? Why bother then? Maybe again, it comes from that. Maybe I'm like this because of the training, that I'm such a perfectionist. And I'm like, no, I just need everything to be good, because why else are we doing it? What's the point?
Why are we here otherwise? Yeah. This
why
is
not?
Our art form and it needs to be the best it can be.
Yeah.
Damn straight. All right, that's it for another episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And wherever you are on your performer's path, stay safe and sane, and let your creative light shine bright on whatever you do.